We're now live. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Okay, so I got everybody's file as far as YouTube upload. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, and then Anthony, I got yours.
Now, are you talking about the videos?
Yeah.
Okay, so there was 3. Did you get all 3 of them?
I got all 3. Okay, I got all 3. So I've went ahead and converted them all into file formats. So I can start playing with how we want this presentation to look like in that context as far as the final product goes. So I'm not sure.
Well, I like what I've seen so far.
Okay, I have too. It looks really good.
I think our catch is going to be paring it down to 15 minutes.
Oh, God.
We've got way too much.
Yeah.
And all of it's really good.
Yeah, well, I guess, let me get a piece of paper here and see if I can kind of take some notes as we go here. Okay, so for my sake and to kind of have something ready for Thursday, the one thing that I need some consensus on more than anything is what do we want to put as far as an order goes, as far as videos?
Well, I'm not sure, and I think me and David are kind of redundant on each other. I'm not sure we need 4 tours of Second Life. I mean, me and Anthony.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you want to, mine exploring, I'm exploring Boise University, which is a school inside Second Life. They actually have graduate degrees and everything, but I like what you did, David, with the PowerPoint, and I like what Tiffany did with hers. For the final project, we finally turn in, including all the videos might be good, but since we're really limited to 15 minutes, we probably need, if there's a way we can merge the two the videos we've got together in some way.
Would it be best? My thought was this. My thought was that I take snippets of each of everybody's submissions and kind of pare it down to, okay, this is what we're envisioning as a project as a whole. Here's a snippet of putting together the Google Glass or whatever, in that context. And then we go to the next one, and then we go to some tours of some stuff, and then just
that's not a bad idea.
Kind of narrow it down to 10 to 11 minutes. And I can do that with what I have, and that's not going to be an issue. I really just need to know what order you want. What's the best presentation we can give to kind of let him know that we're on a really good track, which we are. It's more of just fine tuning for the final product.
I think in terms of, what you did was how to use it for history, right?
That's correct.
Anthony?
Yeah. No, that's what I did.
Oh, sorry. And Anthony, yours was?
Mine was the initial, I went from first going to the website to downloading the software and installing it and then signing on for the first time. And
that might be a good way to introduce it, David.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about virtual reality, and one of the devices we're going to use is Second Life. And so to do so, this is what the teacher is going to experience when they first log in, and then we can move on to the other videos from that point.
So would Anthony's setup be the first one, and then Tiffany's setting up the glasses, or what's better chronologically? I guess.
Well, Tiffany's is doing the glasses, right?
Yeah.
And the other 3 videos are basically about Second Life. So we really kind of need to group the Second Life videos together, and then Tiffany's can either be the very beginning or the very end.
Yeah. Mine is either one is fine with me.
Okay.
Hey guys, I gotta go check out my car.
Okay.
Okay. This is
I wonder
interesting.
if the ones we don't have time for, I wonder if we can put, I don't know, like some kind of addendum with, hey, if you want more info, whatever, watch these videos.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, here's the great thing about this Camtasia tool. If you guys ever get this tool, which I'm sure that, you know, if we're in this field, we're probably going to need something similar to it. But let me tell you, it's just literally dropping in and placing and then moving a cursor to take out what you need and what you don't need. So I can frame this however we want. You just need to let me know the order in which you think it would look best, and I'll put it together.
When you do mine, can you take out the part where it's that 50-second video? Because I say, there's a part where I say, please watch this 50-second video. But the video didn't record the talking inside the
reality.
video. So if you could take that part out, because that's not going to be good for the presentation.
Okay, I can do that.
But it's like, I want to mention, like, if you were using my part, I guess my part better if you did talk about the section Class B R, but the part that talks about the video, take that out.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
The reality is that okay, so Anthony gave 3 videos. Okay, is that correct, Anthony?
Correct.
Okay, Michael gave 1, I gave 1, and Tiffany gave 1. So there's 6 videos that I can pick and choose from. And my thought,
Yeah, if you're editing them together, that's probably the best way to do it.
yeah, I mean, it from my perspective, you know, you're gonna have to have the hardware before you deal with the software. So Tiffany should technically lead off, in my opinion.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
Now, David, are you still doing all the talking, or all of us are going to talk?
What I thought of for this initial thing would be for me to kind of just give a brief overview at the beginning with kind of like a little PowerPoint introduction, and then talk a little bit about this is how you would set up this is how you would do a setup, and then let your video play for a brief period of time, and then the next one introduce it. But for the final product, I want you guys to narrate what you guys need.
Oh yeah, here. Okay.
And that's my suggestion as for the final. But for this thing on Thursday, I can give a real snippet of an intro as far as like a verbal, just to kind of keep it flowing, because we're still piecing this together.
Okay, I agree with that. I'm cool with that.
So I know it's probably going to be choppy, and you know that I apologize, but the polished piece is going to be the one that, you know, everybody's contribution is going to be key and crucial to. But for this, I can make something 10 minutes long with what I have. I just really want a consensus as what do you think it'll look like chronologically. So I think Tiffany's would be a great lead off. I just need to know after that.
I think after that,
Yeah,
the login part, like that Anthony did, the login part will be good, because you know you got to log in first, and then from there, you know it's pretty much deciding what video you kind of wanted to showcase for that, for you know the particular presentation. That's my idea.
Yeah, I think that sounds good. And really, just so you know, my feelings won't be hurt if you don't use all 3 of those videos. I just did it because I figured the more to choose from, the better.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I really wouldn't be upset if you don't use any of mine. I wouldn't care. I'm probably, of the 4 of us, I'm probably the one most familiar with Second Life. And so I get lazy when I'm doing things Second Life.
Okay. Okay.
So when you watch the video, you probably need to really check to make sure I haven't gone off on some weird tangent.
Okay. 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 All right. Now, aside from putting these in order and kind of just giving a basic outline of what we're looking at, what else do we need for Thursday?
Do we need some kind of introduction that we need to do before we start showing the videos and stuff?
He was gonna do that.
A little short script to kind of explain why we're doing this and where we're headed this way?
Do you think I can sum that up in a brief thing before I launch into it?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
I mean,
So David, have you volunteered to be the spokesman then on Thursday?
I have no problem with it. I can talk to anybody. That's what I do. That's what I do for a living. I sell windows right now. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. And I'm dangerous. If you let me talk and I get going, let me put it this way. The church I grew up in, the pastor used to say that any sermon that was less than 40 minutes was a sermonette.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
And that's how I preach.
Oh,
My messages are usually about an hour long.
No.
And I have no problem talking.
Now,
It's getting me to shut up, catch.
now I use this term lightly, but my major was history, and then I got my teaching certificate and everything. But I have a BA and BS, so I will do very well in making sure that this flows very well.
I do understand that one. That's something, though, that if you can edit our video, you probably need to edit that part.
Okay. Yes. Yes. Oh, I should have hit mute, shouldn't I have? Sorry, Dr. Bear, if this escapes through. All right. So, but do we need any paperwork or anything to go with our stuff for Thursday, or is that all this week really is? I haven't even looked in the folder yet. I'll be
That's
honest
all we
with
have
you.
is the presentation.
Yeah, all this week is just a presentation. There's no actual documentation that he's looking for. He's just looking for you to attend the live session and us to present.
Okay.
And then we get to critique.
So that's
Somebody gets to critique us, and we get to critique them.
That's next week.
That's next week, but we still get to critique them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at this new media presentation. Last week he said, "Hey, don't do that this week. It's 0 points." So is this the week that it's real?
Okay, the new media where we were supposed to we were all supposed to write up or put together comparing three different types of media. And that's different from what we're talking about. The presentation is picking one of the media vehicles we're going to use and explaining how we're using it. And that is a great thing because that's part of the presentation, but it's not necessarily a write-up. You know, the original one, we were supposed to write up a thing about 3 pieces of media and how to compare them and try to come up with a group, which is what it was supposed to do, was build into what we're doing. But that's why, and that's confusing. That really was very confusing.
It was.
Very.
Okay, so we don't have to do that new media by doing this presentation with us live actually covers that part of it. Is that what I'm understanding?
Yes.
Yeah, and our vehicle, our media is going to be virtual reality. That's pretty much what we're focusing on.
Okay, okay. Because I don't.
Second Life is an instrument we use. Thank you. The headsets, all that are tools for using VR in the classroom.
Okay, Okay. So I don't need to be worried about a paper. I mean, I haven't even looked at the folder. I feel so bad right now. I'm not.
You don't have to worry about any written
No writing.
anything.
I got enough writing as it is, thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Woo. All right. Thank God.
I still have to add your part, those two things to the appendix, Michael. And then,
Okay, yeah, and I come across that stuff all the time because let me give you a little bit of the background so you understand. I'm one of the original members of Second Life.
okay,
Second Life didn't start out as a commercial venture. It actually started as a program through the Massachusetts Institute of Technology.
okay,
And it was bought out by a different company, and it's evolved over the years. Well, I first ran into it going to the Florida Educational Technology Conference, which I used to go to every year.
okay.
And so I belong to that, and I get an email every week from Campus Technology, and so I get a lot of stuff, and that's the big thing now is virtual reality. So I'm getting a lot of newsletters and stuff, and that's where all that stuff's coming from.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Like, see, I told you I could talk. You know, I warned you.
Yeah. No, I definitely get you on that. I get you on that. So, do we need to go into a certain chapter? I mean, are we in the Psalms or are we into the book of Acts? Or how do we need to go with this?
That's a good question.
Well, Psalms. Let's go with Psalms because that's the long one. So let's go with that one.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Well,
I would think maybe we could tie it to Matthew 28 and the Great Commission,
ooh,
going onto all the world.
Yeah.
Virtual reality opens doors for the whole world.
That's true. But if we go with Psalms, we've got 100 plus, passages to go through. So I think we would be covered in that sense. But that's old school. We can go new school here. So I'm okay with either way.
Okay.
I think the Great Commission is a good spin on it. I think that works.
Yeah, I like that reaching the world. I do. Because virtual reality does allow you to do that.
Okay.
Definitely.
Well, here's my thought. Okay, so while we were kind of thinking here, I was thinking maybe we can I'll give like a brief introduction as to what we envision this to be, and then I'll start off with Tiffany. I'll kind of give like an appendix of what we're going to show. So Tiffany will basically lead off with how to put together some of the glasses. Then Anthony will do like a setup on how they set up Second Life. Then what I thought we would do, just because the walkthroughs, they do tie to something, but if we can kind of give like a foundational thing, I thought I would lead off with the historical aspect of things, and then wrap up with Michael and Anthony's walkthrough of their different aspects of different parts of Second Life.
Okay. In mine,
sounds like a plan, David.
In mine, I did not put together any glasses. I just talked about some of the headsets.
That's fine. That's fine, Tiffany. I don't see that being an issue.
I couldn't. The lenses were so hard to find, and then there was one about making them out of a Coke bottle. I'm like, no, that's okay. I'm not about to weld anything.
Yeah.
Well, for a school, I really think that, in all honesty, a school is probably going to consider doing something like Google Cardboard or one of the kits. I mean, Google Cardboard's what, $7 a piece?
Yeah. I think the highest one I saw was $10, and that was just because of the seller.
Yeah, they make it fancy. They paint it black or something. It costs more, but you just get the plain old cardboard one. It's $7. Right now, the thing I'm trying to figure out is how to record virtual reality from.
Now that would be
Google
awesome.
Yeah. Well, my thought is
I found an app that says it'll let me do it, but I haven't got it to work yet.
Well, I have a feeling that they're not going to care about the glasses whatsoever, other than a few headsets here and there. I think they're going to care more about, can you do it on the screen that you're giving the kid?
Exactly.
I really think that that's going to be the key that carries everything through. And I think by showing them that there's two different paths you can take with this is really going to kind of sell us on selling a potential teacher if this was to actually become a training module. So
Yeah, if we were selling it to a public school.
yeah, so that's how I kind of envision it. So, but yeah, no. This looks like it's going to come together really well, and for that polished piece, we just you'll just need to get me some voiceovers on some stuff, and I'll take it from there as far as getting the final piece put together. So.
Okay, now, you do know that my video has voice.
Oh no, I'm talking like how I did on mine, where I kind of just walked you through different aspects of it. Not everybody,
okay.
Not everybody has that, and you don't have to. Or if there's parts that you want to kind of guide people through, that's totally up to you. But I'll let you guys have that freedom on your own. So, but
Okay.
If you want for an audio mine, just let me know. I'll figure it out.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Listen to mine and let me know what else you want me to do.
Yeah, because David, if you're going to par mine down, mine is 9 minutes long.
Oh yeah.
So we need to figure out what we're paring down.
I got two that are 15 minutes just walking around looking at stuff.
Well,
Well, and that's mine. Mine, I went to Boise State University and walked you through their ed tech department and showed you some of the history and how you could use that in the school and the library and the whole 9 yards. I mean, it's it amazes me all the time to realize that there's universities that are actually holding classes in Second Life.
Really? Wow.
Well, legit.
Mine was way more. I was figuring out how to walk. How to
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's a good way to introduce it.
Yeah.
And talk about how.
my kids.
I think that we get to the classroom, our students are probably going to know how to do more of that than we do.
Oh yeah. Because they've lived it. I mean, I hate to age myself, but I grew up in a Sim City world where we were playing on a 386 computer in the back of the classroom, and there was only one computer, and it ran slower than Methuselah. So
I'm not talking. I work for the state. Okay, we had when I started working for the Department of Corrections, we had IBM. What were those things? They were 64K.
Oh my gosh!
Wow.
With a floppy disk with the operating system on a floppy.
Well,
the department spared no expense.
It sounds like it.
Well,
that was in '96. I mean, the computers were around; they were already to Windows, but not in the Department of Corrections.
That's funny.
Well,
but I remember that because we had one Apple IIe. That was the fancy computer.
Oh my gosh!
And it had Oregon Trail on it.
Oh man, gotta love Oregon Trail. Gotta love it.
Oregon Trail. That was so popular.
I remember that.
Yeah, I just like seeing my family members get dysentery.
Yeah. Actually, they redid it. There's an online version of it now.
Yeah.
I haven't tried it. I ran across it the other day.
What were you saying, Anthony?
They have it as a board game. I was saying they have it as a board game. My kids have it.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
It's about the same. You die all the time, or your wagon tongue breaks.
Yeah.
And then you die. So.
Oh, that's a lovely thought.
Well,
also not.
Pick up a card. You're dead.
What's
yeah.
What's so funny is that was it a couple years ago when the guy who designed Flappy Bird took it off the App Store and everybody went haywire. you should have saw my kids in class. Oh my gosh, they were selling their iPhones with it on there because it was so popular and people still wanted it.
Okay, I didn't hear that, and I'm getting interference once in a while. So
Yeah, remember when Flappy Bird was big?
Flappy Bird?
Flappy Bird, where you basically tap the screen to get the bird to get through the pipes like Mario.
I don't remember that one. I
Okay.
remember Angry Bird, but
Okay.
not Flappy Bird.
Yeah, Flappy Bird was this basic. I mean, this is more basic than Atari. I mean, it was basically just a bird that you basically pecked on the screen, and it actually allowed you to flap the bird's wings, and you were trying to get as far as possible. Anyway, the guy who designed it took it off the App Store, and there was such a demand for it that people literally were selling their devices because they couldn't get, that people wanted it so much. So all my kids were trying to sell their old iPhones with it on there. And you should have saw the negotiations going on. Oh, it was hilarious. It was like economics 101.
Oh my word.
Wow.
I missed that one somewhere.
Yeah. Well,
It's much.
Yeah. Well, you look at what's so funny is that you look at like the NES Classic and now the SNES stuff that's big, where they recreate the old Nintendo systems.
Oh yeah, they're selling those now. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So it's just hilarious that the kids love the basic stuff, and it's just funny. So when I think about what these kids will be doing with whatever, it just amazes me. Well, here's my thought on this, and you tell me what you think. Mine is like 7 minutes long, and everything, but I can probably take 2 or 3 minutes out of each one of
David,
everybody's
how
stuff.
fast do you think
What?
you can put this together? I mean, are we going to be able to see it?
Oh yeah. I should be able to get it to you guys tomorrow, is my hope, and that way you guys can see it and then give me comments and then go from there, because all I'm really doing is putting together a basic PowerPoint and kind of introduce our group, kind of what we're doing, and then here's some 5 things that I want you guys to look at and go through that. Like that is all I'm going to do.
Awesome.
Okay.
That sounds like we've got a plan, guys.
Okay.
Yes, it does.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and stop recording unless you guys think that we've had a full session here.
No, I think
I think
we've
we're
pretty
good.
much covered what we need to cover.
Okay.